Go to Robert in.
Oh, I can't respond to that?
Oh, yes, you can.
Thank you very much. Because first of all, it sounded like that was a non-black person telling me that. So as a Democrat, that sounds pretty racial and pretty divisive. Next, it's very interesting that I, again, would be called names or be compared to fictional characters because of who I choose to support. Again, these people who are calling and making these derogatory statements about me, who I choose to support, are denying.
All right, guys, there is a viral clip that is going on the internet right now, and we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it, guys. And before we even get into it today, I'll ask that you guys take a second, hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel. And of course, I always want to thank you guys so much for always sharing these videos and sharing this video in particular with your friends on Facebook, on social media, wherever you like to share the videos. But what we have here is we have Michaela. We have Michaela Montgomery, an Atlanta woman who has actually been criticized quite heavily by fellow Democrats about her support for from a conservative perspective, actually. And apparently this is not well received across the board. Apparently, Black people are all supposed to essentially stay on the plantation and maintain this collective belief and ideology that you're supposed to support and vote for Democrats just because you're Black. And if you think anything differently outside of that, well, you're a traitor, you're an Uncle Tom, you're all sorts of derogatory terms, which Michaela here clearly debunks any and all of those myths. So listen to Kayla's response. I think you're going to like this one, guys. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's go.
And I don't know why somebody would feel like I, myself, would be offended by that. If everybody thinks the same, has been fear-mongered into thinking the same way, living the same way, then yes, that's a plantation. Because how in the world were so many slaves who outnumbered their slave masters continuing to be slaves? It happened because they were fearful of doing something different. So when we say that Democrats are on this Democratic plantation, specifically talking about Black people, it's because, yes, you guys are all blindly following a leader and you're scared to do something different. Additionally, to think that somebody like myself, who can clearly articulate their points, their opinions, their life experience that have led them to support certain candidates, it's very interesting that somebody would demean C-SPAN for having a guest like me on TV. There's plenty of people who think, act, and wish that a voice like mine had a bigger platform. So it's unfortunate that people like that feel like we should be silenced.
All right, let's talk to Ladley in Marietta, Georgia, Democrat. Good morning.
All right, guys. Well, before we go into this next caller, I just want to say big shout out to C-SPAN and for Michaela for allowing this collaboration to even take place. As we've seen, especially with the Kamala Harris, Tim Walz campaign, it's been nothing but positive news about Kamala Harris. She can do no wrong. And what's really interesting is how Kamala Harris was literally the butt of all jokes for the longest period of time. Everyone in the world, even CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS News, like it was a collective understanding, and this is what we have seen across the board. It was clear that Vice President Kamala Harris was an invisible political party in a very visible role. She done nothing. She had done absolutely nothing. She was labeled the border czar. She made the border situation here in America the worst we've ever seen in the history of the country. And miraculously, all of a sudden, once Joe Biden decided that he's no longer going to be competing for the 2024 presidential elections against former President Donald Trump, all of a sudden the media all got together. They all got the same scripts. And all of a sudden began touting that Kamala Harris is the very best thing that could ever happen to America. It's clearly a lie. But then you have people like Michaela who aren't going for this. Okay. And this is part of why this video is going viral, because Michaela doesn't fit the bill of the traditional Black woman that they say should be standing behind Kamala Harris as being the first Black woman president of the United States, which many people, including myself, argue that Kamala Harris is not even Black. She's only whatever ethnicity benefits her at the moment. But watch Michaela dismantle this next caller. Watch.
So it's unfortunate that people like that feel like we should be silenced.
All right, let's talk to Ladley in Marietta, Georgia, Democrat. Good morning.
Yes, I did not know that you knew Candace Owens, because she's pretty much been outcasted by the right because of her stances on Israel. But anyway, you will have a good job at Fox News at some point. I guarantee you that. And the things you point out on the Democrats, their failures, you're absolutely right on some of the things. The Democrats fall short, but at least we try. The Republican policies are just the complete opposite. Okay, last thing I want to say, they're never going to let you in the club. Okay, and you like the movie Django, you are the character of Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know the exact terminology, but not Uncle Tom, but Uncle Tommy, or you are a complete sellout.
All right, and we'll go to Robert in.
Oh, I can't respond to that?
Oh, yes, you can.
Thank you very much. Because first of all, it sounded like that was a non-black person telling me that. So as a Democrat, that sounds pretty racial and pretty divisive. Next, it's very interesting that I, again, would be called names or be compared to fictional characters because of who I choose to support. Again, these people who are calling and making these derogatory statements about me, who I choose to support, are denying the fact that, again, who are you to tell me that my personal experience is invalid? I think that that's something that a lot of Democrats need to look within, because how have you tried? Kamala Harris is in office right now and has not tried to do anything about the border, has not tried to not tax people on tips, and has not tried to do anything about our failing education system. So everything that she's promising she can do for you on day one, she could do right now, but she's not trying to. So that's something to, for some Dems to take home.
Robert in Aurora, Indiana, Republican.
Now, Kayla brings up some very valid points. Lots of valid points here. She's very articulate, and I love that, right? Here's the thing, and this really just kills me all the time. It's I watch these interviews take place, and it's CNN, for example, they'll panel, I don't know, 6, maybe 8 people and interview them. And they did this recently about Kamala Harris. CNN interviewed 8 people on this panel about Kamala Harris's speech during the DNC, during the Democratic National Convention. And the responses that we got from people were just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I liked how Kamala Harris was very personable. She told us about her upbringing. Kamala Harris, and again, this is the same Democratic National Convention that's taking place in the city of Chicago right now, where businesses are boarding up because they're afraid of of riots and protests breaking out in the streets and destroying their businesses, destroying their companies. Guys, this is a party that is known for divisive behavior. This is a party that is known for sending the DOJ after Donald Trump because they see Trump as a threat to to the deep state, a threat to the Democratic Party. Michaela here is clearly not buying into the propaganda that's being pushed out by the media widespread. And it seems like the media all has the same script. They're pretty much all saying the exact same thing. It's wild. I actually did a video where we overlaid what the far left media is actually saying back to back to back. And they're all literally reading the same script. They're all saying the same thing across different networks. And this whole thing about JD Vance and Donald Trump being Donald Trump and JD Vance being weird. That's the word they want to use on them. Oh, they're so weird, man. I'm sorry. Also, they want to have these wild, I don't want to say, basically they have these really wild objectives. Okay. There was a video I released just last night, and you guys will easily be able to find it. There's a father who has just literally lost his mind. He's gone off because of what they're trying to do to his school right now. And this is what they're trying to do across the nation here, guys. You can find this video. You'll see it. Click on my channel. You'll see a guy with purple hair, and he's supposed to be a woman or something like that. Anyway, they're trying to remove the designation between men and women in the bathrooms. That way, men can use the little girls' bathrooms, and then that'll be okay in the schools. And the father is not having it. So you guys definitely got to check that video out right after this one. But guys, this is not the end of it. In fact, Michaela has a lot more to say here in this particular interview here on C-SPAN. But what is really really awful for the United States of America is like, okay, Kamala Harris is in a unique situation. She's already in the White House. Okay. Kamala Harris says, if you elect me as president, I will lower your taxes. Number one, if you're able to lower your taxes, if you're going to lower the taxes, why didn't she already do that right now? She's already in the White House. So number one, if she didn't lower your taxes already, chances are she's not going to lower them. And the way I look at this is twofold. Number one, you're either lying to the American people about something that you're saying you're going to do that you're not going to do, or two, you allow the American people to face and feel even more pain when you all along had the power to lower the taxes of Americans, but you chose to hold out so you could use it as leverage and as a pawn, as bait to be able to get yourself reelected back into the White House. So in other words, she had the power. She has presently the power to lower your taxes, but she chooses not to. She chooses to let you continue to feel this pain so that she can bait you into voting for her going forward. And she may or may not do it. And chances are she's had 3.5 years to lower your taxes. She's not going to do it. She's threatening folks with raising the capital gains tax to 46.5% across the board for capital gains. You know, and then she wants to market it as if this is only going to affect the rich and the wealthy. That is pure bull here, guys. I'm here to tell you guys it's pure bull. A lot of folks are not necessarily tax experts. And so I can understand how this could kind of go over people's heads where Kamala Harris says, oh, well, you know, it's only going to affect the wealthy, or to pull some a line out of Joe Biden's previous playbook. This is only going to affect people who are making over $400,000 a year. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you, capital gains tax affects everybody. Okay. And to hit 46.5%, 44.5% tax on capital gains is absolutely absurd. Business owners, small business owners will be affected by this. Anyone who's approaching retirement, anyone who has a brokerage account, an IRA, a 401k, will likely be facing this. They're literally trying to steal. They're trying to get you to vote for them being able to steal 50% of what you've worked hard for. Okay. Capital gains tax affects your business's income, your investment income, your index funds, you name it. Okay. So don't let them lie to you guys. Let's hear Michaela go into this next caller.
Good morning.
Yes, sweetheart. Miss Montgomery, I commend you, sweetheart. You are telling the truth. I want to tell you a little bit about that. I'm 87 years old. I went for my physical. I didn't pass, but my dad served World War II. My uncle fought the Battle of Bulge. Back when I was a kid, we had black people working for us. There is colors, black, white, red, you name it, yellow. They ate at our table. They didn't have to go out in a barn or a shed or sit on the porch to eat. They ate with the family. And anybody that wants to do anything for their life, work for it. Work for it. There's jobs out here. They want to put Trump down, and he's worked his. Who would take a shot for this country? Who would take a shot for this country? And he wasn't in the military, no. But he did take a shot for this country, and it almost killed him. And you idiots out there that can't see that this man wants to do right for this country. He loves his country. He loves the people.
All right.
Vote for him.
All right, Robert. Go ahead, Kayla.
I wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment that if you want something, you have to work for it. Again, I moved out to Atlanta 10 years ago with 2 suitcases and $1,500. Not an idea what I was going to do. No family. No, I don't have parents that went to college. I was literally on my own and I had to figure it out. I worked 3 jobs to get through college. Then I got pregnant. So unfortunately, I did not finish. But then I was like, wow, instead of sitting here and waiting on government assistance to come and help me take care of me and my kid, what can I do to therefore uplift us and make it so that I have the freedom to raise my child and not worry about money? And that's, of course, when I invested all of my time into Conserve the Culture and grew it into a business that allowed me to take care of my daughter. So I can't go for the complaints. I can't go for the excuses. I can't go for the woe is me. I wholeheartedly agree that if you want something bad enough, you are going to work your ass off to get it.
And so Michaela has clearly broken the mold. She is headed down the path less traveled. She came to Atlanta with no family, very minimal money, some clothes in a suitcase, and she started a new life for herself. And clearly, she's a business owner. She just admitted to being a business owner, and she understands the impact of these egregious taxes that they want to place on Americans. They want to steal your wealth, and this is part of this great wealth transfer that we keep hearing so much about. And then there's this other tax proposal that they have been pushing, that they've been talking about. And this is what they want to do, guys. So get this. I don't know how many, you guys can comment down below if you guys have heard about this unrealized tax gains that they're trying to pass, this proposal. Well, basically, the way this works is, imagine, okay, so the way that this unrealized tax proposal works is, imagine you own a stock, right? So you buy a stock. Whenever you buy a stock, this is an investment. That investment can go up, it can go down, right? There's risk associated with all investments, okay? So you buy a stock. Let's just pretend it's Amazon, or maybe it's, I don't know, Wells Fargo or Bank of America stock. Maybe it's Microsoft stock. It doesn't matter what kind of stock it is, right? Let's say you buy the stock for $100, right? Let's say you buy 10 shares at $100. That's $1,000 investment, right? So imagine if that stock goes up to, say, $200, well, your $1,000 investment turned into $2,000. If that stock goes up to $1,000, well, your $1,000 investment just turned into $10,000, right? But here's the thing. Let's just say it turned into $10,000. Now, according to these unrealized tax gains that they want to pass, you would owe tax on about $9,000 worth of profit. Okay. Now, you haven't sold the stock, but they want to tax you on this unrealized gain. Now, if you were to pay tax on this unrealized gain of, let's just say $9,000, you still haven't sold the stock. Now, again, stock values go up and down. Let's just pretend that stock crashes after you've paid taxes. You've already invested $1,000 into the initial investment. The government wants to tax you on this money you haven't really actually made. It's just made on paper, right? Now, let's just pretend you pay these taxes. Then the stock goes down in value. Let's say it goes down to $0, right? Not only has the government stolen your unrealized gains in the form of taxes, you've already paid this, but your initial investment on the stock is now worthless. And so this is completely un-American, and this is what we're against. This is what the Democratic Party is pushing for, guys, among many other un-American policies. So drop me some comments, guys. Drop me your thoughts. If you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Share this video with other like-minded people, and definitely go click on my channel right now and look for that video. You'll see a thumbnail of a guy with purple hair. You have to watch that video next. I'll see you guys on the next one. Be safe.